What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And in today's video, we're talking about the Transportation Freedom Act again, as Senator Moreno was just on TV talking a little bit about it. And one of the very key points here was where he called out California and New York and basically saying no states are going to be able to interfere with the federal government and emission policy. Roll the intro. So what is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's The Garage. They are calling Senator Moreno the auto czar. He's like the unofficial auto czar now for the Trump administration. What I find interesting here is I just saw this interview over on Spectrum News. I'm going to run part of that here for you in a minute. But I found it very interesting, some of the things he said specifically about New York and California, and his basically saying that these two states or any state government is not going to be able to have the ability to set federal or interfere with federal emission standards, meaning whatever the federal government says goes. If the federal government does not say smog checks are needed, there will be no smog checks. If they don't think semi-trucks need to get smog checked 5 times a year, there won't be any smog checks for these semi trucks or cars or classics or things of that nature. But needless to say, I'll show you what the interview said here, and you can tell it's kind of slanted a certain way. Like towards the end of this news segment, you know, they talk about, oh, it makes the United States not competitive. Newsflash: outside of China, the United States is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, trading market, period. The biggest market to sell cars in. I don't think the United States is going to have a problem if they're only selling their gas cars to the citizens here, right? I know auto manufacturers want to be competitive or whatever in Europe, and they can continue to make EVs for that. But there's no keeping up with China when China doesn't even let you in to sell. And before some dumbass gets in my comment that have never seen my videos before because they're seeing this as an emissions video and they go, oh, this is another one of these haters. He got a Ram hat on. He must hate EVs. That's my Tesla Model S key. And I just ordered a Cybertruck. So please miss me with that BS, okay? Like, there's no... I don't hate electric vehicles, just so we're clear. But anyways, let's run this news story real quick so you can see it, and then we'll come back and discuss.
The unofficial car czar of the Senate is using his background running auto dealerships to shape policy, in this case introducing legislation to end incentives for electric vehicles. He says it's in the best interest of consumers and automakers. Republicans have long supported ending the $7,500 tax credit to buy an electric vehicle. Established in the Inflation Reduction Act, one of former President Joe Biden's signature laws.
The American public should be the one out there deciding, not the federal government. So that's one of those out there that should come off the table right off the bat.
Senator Bernie Moreno has become a key figure in Republicans' anti-EV agenda. He wants to get rid of the tax credit, but gradually, so auto dealers can sell their remaining inventory. He's also introducing a bill to repeal the Environmental Protection Agency's emission rule requiring 2/3 of all new cars to be electric by 2032. He says that would save automakers money, driving down prices.
My bill is about providing a consistent 10-year outlook on what the rules of the road are going to be without states like California or New York interfering in what the federal government is setting for a set of standards.
Moreno also supports President Donald Trump pulling the plug on a $7.5 billion federal initiative to install 500,000 EV chargers across the country by 2030. Ohio has already used the funds to build 19 stations, 1/3 of the 57 built nationwide. Moreno says he's not against building charging stations, but that the private sector should be the one to do it.
We want the marketplace to work. The federal government played exactly zero role in building gas stations. It shouldn't shouldn't play a role in building EV charging stations because they always get it wrong.
Critics, though, say changing the country's direction on EVs will disadvantage American automakers against global competitors.
As long as we keep playing politics with energy and with transportation, well, that only makes it worse. Whereas other countries around the world, they're not doing that. They're seeing this as an opportunity to grow industry, to create jobs, and to have global dominance in a lot of different ways. And we're not doing that.
8% of auto sales in the U.S. are now EVs. Though eliminating the tax credit could make sales fall initially, industry analysts say the long-term shift to EVs will continue. In Washington, Harry Lee, Spectrum News.
So, there you have it. Like I said, he's trying to do a couple of different things. He wants to get rid of the tax credit. Now, full disclosure, I bought this car too because I do get a tax credit. It's used, so I'll get like a $4,000 tax credit for the car. And you guys remember I paid like what, around 25 grand after taxes and everything for that car. So that car was now, that Model S was now 21,000. That I'll, as long as it runs, the battery and everything stays good on it for the next, 1 or 2 years, I won't pay any fuel for it. The car will literally, my fuel costs are like $7,000 to $9,000 a year. So 2 years that car pays for itself. So, but it was interesting to see what he said about rolling back the federal tax credits, the $7,500 credit on buying new electric vehicles. I support that. I don't feel that one type of car should be getting, free money off that I pay for as a taxpayer, you pay for as a taxpayer, when other people don't, right? And I also feel that, rolling back these tailpipe emissions, rolling back these emission systems, like making it where auto manufacturers they specifically want to make vehicles cheaper. And that's by getting rid of these insanely expensive, not efficient emission systems that are on these cars. I'm talking about displacement on demand technology that General Motors uses, or MDS on Dodge and Ram products and Jeep products, right? Anything with the 5.7 Hemi or 6.4, has that stupid MDS crap on it, okay? Get rid of it. Diesel trucks with DEF, which, I love. This is the other thing I love about the environmental people, like, oh, it's all the environment. No, but you'll keep putting DEF in, and then you're like, I don't understand why, the farms and stuff aren't having good crops this year, or like flowers aren't coming out. The cherry blossoms aren't as good as they were last year. Yeah, maybe because the bees are getting confused and autistic and don't know what the hell's going on. They have basically bee dementia because of this DEF fluid. Don't believe me? Google it. Look it up. So these systems that are supposed to make the environment better don't do that at all. They make the environment worse. If you have to keep replacing an engine in a diesel truck every 120 or 150,000 miles because the emission system grenaded and it blew the engine, right? That's not efficient. If you're having to use twice as much fuel to get down the road, whether it's diesel or gas, that's not efficient. You get what I'm saying? It's more emissions. I digress. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about what the senator said in that interview? I'd love to know what you guys think. And as we have more updates, I do have a video for you guys on the semi-truck side with the Transportation Freedom Act and some of the stuff that will be going away with smog in California. So I'll be talking about that here soon. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.